Mother is the bank where we deposit all our hearts and worries. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, IC Tales is in conversation with Mrs. Stuti Agarwal. She is a parenting lifestyle blogger. She's a mother of two cutest children ever. She's a brewing mommy influencer with more than 35K followers on Instagram. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to IC Tales. Thank you for accepting our invitation to the interview. How are you?
Thank you. My pleasure. I'm doing well, and it's a pleasure to be here.
So let's start with the discussion. What inspired you to become a parenting blogger?
So I was always a journalist. I started working as a journalist when I was 13, and after that, I was with the Times of India for 8 years, and before that, with the Telegraph for 2 years. So I'm used to documenting things and writing about things. Like, whenever I see something, I'm like, people should know this and people should know that. But as a first time mom, I was dealing with postpartum depression. I was shifting countries, and it was just not possible for me to do anything. I enjoyed that phase, after I was okay, and then when I moved to a new country, I enjoyed motherhood for 2 years, and I traveled with my son a lot. Like before he was 6 months, he went to 6 countries because we were in Hong Kong. We traveled to like 6 countries and all. And people would ask me, like, why don't you write about how you took your child, what you did? Like, please write about it. We want to know what you fed him, what you carried for him, and everything. Then nothing crossed my mind, and I did not write. But after that, we moved again to Mumbai. And before, like, after moving here, I was like, no, I need to work. I can't be like this. I need to. So I started interviewing at various places and all. A magazine selected me also, and then I realized that I was pregnant. So I had to let go of that job, and I was pregnant with my second one. So after I delivered, I was freelancing then for a content writing company. So freelancing, there'll be laptop, and sometimes there's work, sometimes not. So I was like, why not write about my newborn baby? What am I doing with her? So with my son, I had fed him for 2 years, like breastfed him for 2 years. And I read a lot in those 2 years. When I was not a blogger, I was just at home. So I read about parenting, I read about breastfeeding, about baby-led weaning, and I was going by the books, and people really wanted to know. So I was like, why not write about breastfeeding? People want to know, and I have a small baby. So I just started writing. I did not know that there's a world called parenting bloggers or content creators. I had no idea. I was just writing, and then somehow I discovered Instagram, uh, and then I was like, why not just write about her. So I started putting up pictures and writing milestones and all, and then just took off. Like it was never a plan; it just happened. I think I'm destiny's child.
Okay. So what has been the toughest part of the journey?
Time management. Time management has been the toughest because soon after I started my blog, there was lockdown. So my blog was like 4 or 5 months old, and with lockdown there were no helps. I had one 5 month old baby. I had a 2 year old baby, and he had just started school, and I did not know what to do because being a new mom, there was so much. Uh, there was so much to do, and I was needed so much in every part that I did not know what to do. But it was just my passion that provided for me, I guess. So I would write one post a day, even then, even with all the work, when my babies would sleep in the night and all, I would just, write about the day, about what happened and all on my mobile WhatsApp. Like I had a WhatsApp group with just myself, but I would write about it. And then next day, just find out a picture and post it. So there were no reels then, I guess. So that helped because there was not much pressure. I could just write static posts and do with it. And I think that is what, was the toughest part, managing my blog in the lockdown, and also time management. Now that I have a 2 year old and a 4 year old, it's not really easy, but I've set a routine where I can find time to do what I love.
Mommy things. How did your husband and family support you in this journey?
So there was a lot of support. Of course, without support, I couldn't have done all of this. So, uh, my husband firstly wouldn't know. He was like, "तुम करो तो फिर देखेंगे." Like, don't make aspirations कि ये वो ऐसा बन जाएंगे वैसा बन जाएंगे. So he was like, you do and we'll see. So I would just write about it, and he supported me in the sense that if I needed to go out somewhere, like even now, we are a nuclear family. So he takes over, like, you come back from office early because I have to leave for my events, or I have to go here for this work. Why don't you? So we adjust accordingly. And my parents and my sister has been my biggest support. So I couldn't have done that without them. So my everything that I do on my blog runs through my sister. What rates to charge, what to write about, is this video nice, is this not? Everything runs through her. She's de facto manager for me. And my mom also, like, this is coming, so if I have to go out somewhere, and if she's at home, can you take care of my baby, or can you come along with me? So there's a lot we do, like, and we couldn't have done that without my family support.
Yeah. In taking care of their children, sometimes mothers forget their own selves. What is your take on this, and how do you make time for yourself?
So I'm a very involved parent. I need to be with my children, so I need to do crafts, activities, artwork with them and all. But I also need my own time. So 1 hour I just
Of
need to
course.
zone off and do nothing. So even during the lockdown, with so much happening, I would take that 1 hour to just do nothing. Like when my younger one slept, I was totally against screen time, by the way. But during lockdown, I was like, I have to give priority to my sanity. So I would make my child sit in, the elder one, sit in front of the television, and I would take that 1 hour to myself to just unwind. And that is very necessary for me. I can't function without uh, taking care of myself, because I think that many mothers burn out because they do not fill their cups, and I can't be one of them. So I need to, like, just 2 days ago, I was just, there was too much happening with the kids. I was playing referee, trying to break their fights and all. So at night I told my husband, listen, I'm going to other room for 1 hour. I just need to be with myself. I need to do nothing. I just need to, scroll my phone and all of that. And he was like, yeah, you go, I'll take care of the kids. So that is how I manage my sanity.
Yeah. Motherhood is wonderful, but it's also hard work, like nothing. What all problems did you face in this journey of motherhood?
This journey of motherhood, I would say that, firstly, finding out information, because being a journalist, I'm also very clear on that. I will not, give any kind of information to people. It needs to be well researched and all. So finding the correct information and then getting it across to the people. For example, I've done one reel recently, and I tried to break some myths, but there were so many people who would, like, come and say, nay, this is not correct, or our moms didn't do it this way or that way. So getting that message across to people, building a community, because I don't believe that you can rise by yourself. You have to build a community to rise. So there's a lot of uh, things that go into building a community. Time management,
Yeah.
as I said, is a problem. Then doing the correct thing. I think doing the correct thing, there are so many schools of thought when it comes to parenting now. Breastfeeding of formula, traditional weaning or baby led weaning, elimination communication, or training later, cloth diapers or disposable diapers. So everywhere you have to take a choice in motherhood. Make that choice, and making that choice is not easy because you want the best for your children.
Yes.
So to navigate those parts is the most difficult part, and that is what I aim to do through my blog, is to help people. My if you see my blogs, it is only about helping people, and that is the reason why I started this, at this blog, that I want to give that information to people so that they don't need to face what I need to face. Yeah.
These days, the biggest problem that mothers face is the excess screen time, as you mentioned earlier. What is your perspective on that?
Screen time per se is not bad if you know what the child is watching. Your child
Yeah.
can learn so much from screen if it is regulated and if it is in moderation. Like half an hour of
Controlled
screen
also.
will not harm your child if they're watching about space, about numbers, about alphabet. Mindless viewing of television, like, there's a phone in front of you, you're eating, it's in front of you, you're going somewhere, that is derogatory. So detrimental, I would say, that is detrimental. So see, I have never preferred screen time for my kids. Okay, but during lockdown, I had to give for my own sanity to my children, and then that became to a point that it was uncontrollable. He was watching TV for like 8 hours a day. He would not stop. I was busy with housework and the younger one, and I didn't stop. So once things got back to normal, my first challenge was to break that cycle, and I did, like, very very nicely. I have a whole blog on it, on how step by step you can cut down on screen time. So we are right now on zero screen time. If you leave apart the part where he has to study on a laptop or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, online.
we are on a zero screen time. So we do a lot of outdoor time. Like, that is one of the things that when we cut down on screen time, I started taking them to park at that time. And we learned a lot. I have another post on 40 ideas you can implement outside and, play accordingly. So for example, in the garden, we would count flowers, we will, jump on rocks, we'll make chalks, say circles and triangles, and what is a circle, what is a triangle. That is, I'm talking about 1 hour before, 1 year before, when he was little. So we did a lot of outdoor activities, and we spent like 2-3 hours in the park every day, morning and evening included. So that helped in curbing. And when we were home, we would do a lot of activities like, fine motor skills and all of that. So they just forgot, not they, my son just forgot television. My daughter has never watched. She's 2.5 and she has never watched, and now she can't watch. Like, even if you switch the screen on in front of her, she will be like, she'll look for like 2 minutes and then go away. No interest.
Nice.
And also, we have never done screen time during food hours, like no distraction feeding. So that is what has helped. Because people who are used to, showing the screen and eating, that becomes a problem because they associate food and with food, TV with food, and they don't know what they're eating, how much they're eating, etc. So we have eliminated screens during food time.
That's so important in nowadays, like very important. I've seen children of 2 or 1 eating food only when their mother provides the phone.
That is what I didn't want to do, and thankfully we have managed to, curtail.
Yeah. How do you make your kids eat healthily and take them away from the junk food, which is a very big challenge in this time?
Again, it is not a challenge for me because I was well prepared and well informed. So we have always eaten healthy at home. When he was 6 months old, my son, we started introducing all kinds of flavors. I've never done mashed or anything. Not that it is bad, it is traditional weaning, but we have done solid food, we have done self-feeding, so they know what they want to eat. We have only given healthy food. I introduced him to like 100 flavors before he turned 1 year old in those 6 months. So they now know, if even if I give them a bowl of vegetables, they will eat it happily. Like, we generally make, so if I make sauteed vegetables, they are the first ones to attack on it. They like salads. Also, help involving them in house chores help a lot. So I generally involve them in cooking, cutting, like, chop these vegetables and make this juice, or like I take them to farms. So for example, we just came 2 days back from a farm setting where I showed him, this is how brinjals are made, this is how tomatoes are made. We do gardening at home where he sees how a tomato takes like more than 60 days to just form. And then I'm like, this took 60 days. If I cut it and give it to you and you waste it, imagine what happens. So they're involved in the whole process. They know how a vegetable is grown. They help in cutting and making it. They have been introduced to flavors. So I've never faced that kind of problem. Not that I don't give them junk. If they are stepping out or something once in a while, it's okay. If they are like, for a snack, if they're eating it, not that I'm like completely against it, but they do not uh, run away from healthy food. I wanted them to have a good association with food, and that is what I've achieved. Like, they love food. They will tell me when they are hungry. They will come and tell me, Mom, I'm hungry. Not that I have to run behind them. Also, I've never force fed. For example, if they say I'm done, they're done. No force feeding. So they have a good association with food. They know that food is there, and when I want to eat, I can. When I don't want to eat, I don't. So if a child's association with food is good, a lot of problems are solved. And that you can achieve by taking them to the farms and showing them, by involving them in house chores, by giving them opportunities to self-feed, following baby-led weaning, and by making them associate food in a good way, like good association with food. So if anybody follows these 5 points, I think they will not face this problem.
Is there anything that you regret or you want to change in this journey of yours?
If one thing I regret is starting this blog late. I should have, started it when my son was born. I miss documenting his first 2 years of life. Like, my daughters, I've documented everything, but my sons, I can't remember most of the things what he did at 8 months, 9 months. And if I could go back in time, maybe I would start this blog early because I want to remember those moments and times. And maybe I would take more videos because I have only taken pictures. At time there was no concept of reels, so I don't have much videos of him babbling, speaking, this and that. And if I could go back in time in 2017, maybe I would take more videos and document it.
Missing that things. During this pandemic, children were really trapped, literally trapped into the house, and now they only want their rooms. They are not growing by playing outdoor games. How would you, as a parent, encourage them to play outside?
So my children were never at home even during pandemic. So during the pandemic, during the later part, second wave or something, so the parks were open. You were free to go only if you wanted to take your own risk. So nobody in the building would go, but we would go just as it was sanitized. We knew the sanitizing time. So as soon as it was sanitized, we would just run to the park and be there for 2 hours because nobody else was there. So no issue. Like you had to stay away from people, right?
Yeah.
But if there's nobody, if it's just us, we would play so much. We would just run around, do ringa ringa roses, play with ball. You could literally find us outside doing crazy things. So they have been outdoors only even today, and park time is a very important part of our daily routine. So even today, I took my daughter to the park while my son did his football class. So I personally lay a lot of importance to uh, gross motor skills, and that's why outdoor time.
Okay. So, last but not the least, what is your go-to parenting advice?
Go to parenting advice: respect your child, trust your child, and observe them. Do not label them that they are doing this and that. Figure out the root of the problem. Do more bonding over correction. Like, always if you keep correcting them, it is not going to serve any good. More bonding, and they will automatically listen to you. And if you respect them, they will respect you. Respect their hunger, respect their choices, see what they are doing. If you just change your perspective, a lot will change. If you want to do gentle parenting, all you have to do is change your perspective of why the child is reacting that way. So many people tell me it's the terrible tools. I said, no, it's the terrific tools. They're learning so much. So if you think negatively, or uh, try to tell a child's problems in front of him, it is never going to help. But if you have a good bond with your child, that will solve all your problems. So bonding over correction, and trust your child and respect your child, and you will realize the change in yourself. I
Thank
was
you,
never
ma'am.
the perfect parent, by the way. I was never the perfect parent. All that I'm saying is because of my Instagram journey, where I've learned so much, you know, uh, figured out so much, and because of my job, I research so much, and that is why. So if I can be that parent, even you can be. It's just a change in perspective.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. It was really nice talking to you. I definitely am sure that everyone who will watch this interview will get to learn so much things about children and parenting. Thank you for
Thank you,
giving
Dhanika.
us.
It was really a pleasure to be here because I could speak about things I believe in without a filter, and that is how I am, and I'm so happy that I was here. So if the people are watching, please go and follow mombay.blogger. That is my blog on Instagram, where I write about the topics I just spoke on, and leave me a DM. We'll connect there.
I'm sure you will get a lot of connections with this, and everyone will learn, including you yourself also.
Thank you so much, Dhanika. It was lovely
Thank
chatting
you.
with you.
Thank you, ma'am.